Good morning, everyone. As the proud principal of Chris Hadfield Public School, I observe the school staff and the daycare providers collaborating on a daily basis. Together, they create a continuum that supports the development and learning of our children. We truly value this partnership at our school. I'd like to introduce at this time a number of our guests from the Simcoe County District School Board. Joining us today is our director, Kathy Wallace, accompanied by Superintendent of Education responsible for the early years, Paula Murphy, and by Superintendent of Chris Hadfield Public School, Daryl Halliday. It's now an honor for me to introduce our Associate Minister of Education, MEDU Harris, to the podium. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for that lovely introduction, Principal Albans. Am I pronouncing it properly, or Albans? Okay, Alban. Good morning, everyone. And what a lovely school you have here today. I apologize for getting here a little bit late this morning, but the rain, and we kind of got lost a little. The school is so new, I was told, that it's not completely on all of the maps, but we got here on time. But this is a fantastic place. It really is. It's a lovely school, and so it's a real pleasure to be here with you all today. I was especially pleased to be able to tour the kindergarten room that we are in, the child care spot with the young ones, and get a chance to play with them and spend some time with them. And you know, I get to visit a lot of spots with children these days, as you can imagine, as the Associate Minister of Education. But should I wait for that? Okay, but the energy in the room, those kids were so outgoing. They were so friendly and so into what they were doing, so it really was a pleasure to be there with them. I want to, of course, start out by thanking the principal, the staff, and teachers here at Chris Hadfield Public School for hosting us this morning. And we were having a chat, and you know, I pointed out that actually Chris Hadfield went to high school in Milton, so you know, we share something in common. This school, and there's a Chris Hadfield School actually in Milton also, but I really can tell how his accomplishments and schools like this really do a lot to motivate our kids, right? I've had a lot of conversations with the young people who have been paying attention to his accomplishments, and it really does make them realize that you can really accomplish a lot and be successful in your life. You just have to put your mind to it. And so a fantastic school and a really great energy here. I want to thank all of you, especially the staff and teachers here, for your hard work and your tireless efforts day in and day out to create what I know is a happy, safe, and wonderful, healthy learning environment for our children. You can just feel it in the air, and it was very obvious when I visited the kids that that's how they feel when they're here. After all, you're not only setting them on a path to a better, brighter future, but you're also doing something very important. You're creating a stronger future for all of us. So I want you to take back that message to the rest of the staff here. A very sincere thank you on behalf of me and the Ministry of Education and the people at Queen's Park. You know, there's nothing more important to me as the Associate Minister of Education for Early Years and Childcare than to get out and have some conversations with people like you. And I'll tell you why. It's important for me to know what your needs are, what the challenges are that you face on the ground, and what our government needs to do in order to give you the support that you really deserve. After all, you're our front lines when it comes to providing quality care. You're the ones out there with our students and our young people who are really that helping hand and that smiling face through much of their day. And sometimes, you know, when they skin their knees or they're not having such a great day, you're that one, you're that person that really helps them get back on their feet and really ensures that our children are taken well care of. So that is so important, and I think you've probably got one of the most important, if not the most important job out there in the world and in our society. What brings me here this morning is very much in response to what we have heard from you all and from the people of Bradford and across Ontario. After all, we've been chatting with them about the supports that they need, and they've all pretty well said the same thing. People out there are saying that there is a need for more access to high-quality, licensed childcare. After all, every child deserves the best start in life, and it's our responsibility to make sure Ontario families have the right supports so children can grow and learn in a healthy, safe environment. And we know that learning doesn't just start when the school bell rings, and it doesn't just start in grade 1 or even in kindergarten. We know that really children's learning starts at a very young age, pretty well from the time they're born. They're really sponges, aren't they? And so it starts from day one. That's why Ontario's childcare and early years programs are so important, because they help get our little ones ready for full-day kindergarten and, of course, success beyond the classroom. We know that investing in childcare supports many things, including women's empowerment, and increases access to affordable, high-quality, licensed childcare, and so helps reduce the gender wage gap, which I know we've all heard about. Investing in childcare also does some very important things. It reduces poverty, provides vital support for single parents, new immigrant families, all of which really strengthens our economy here in this province and really makes us all stronger and creates a bright future for all of us. But most importantly, it really is the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do for our kids and for our families. So, it is my sincere pleasure today to announce that our government is investing $7.2 million in Bradford and other schools in Simcoe and York regions. I think this is fantastic news. $7.2 million. What this is going to do is build 13 new childcare rooms, resulting in more than 200 new licensed childcare spaces, 211 to be exact. So just think about it, right? That's going to really impact the families here in this region in a very real way and in a very positive way and really create a great system for our children. 3 of those rooms and 49 of those spaces are going to be opening right here. I see someone very happy. That's good. So 3 childcare rooms, 3 new ones, and 49 new licensed spaces. So 49 new wonderful kids are going to be right here at Chris Hadfield Public School. Fantastic news and a great opportunity for all of us and wonderful, I think, for Bradford families. Bradford families have been vocal. They said that they wanted more high-quality, affordable care. So this is really something to celebrate, and we've been listening. It will give Bradford parents increased choice, of course, and flexibility, but most importantly, I'm a parent, and those parents who are here in the room, you know, it gives us all peace of mind, right? We know where our kids are, and we know they're going to be safe and well looked after, and so it makes everything so much easier and allows us to really focus at times on the things we need to. So thank you for that. It will give more children, of course, the ability to transition from childcare into full-day kindergarten, all in the same school. You know, it just makes it easier because, as you know, many families have more than one kid. So one kid, you know, one child is already sometimes in grade 1 or 2 or grade 3 or 4, and others are in the younger years. It just makes it easier for a family and more convenient when they're doing the drop-offs at the same time. I know this from personal experience, so I can tell you that's important. And I'm pleased to say that families across Ontario are also going to be benefiting from these new licensed childcare rooms in schools, because including today's announcement, I'm so proud to say that our government has delivered on a commitment we made in the 2015 Ontario budget. What we committed to was investing $120 million in communities across the province, and we've done that. We've committed, and we're investing $120 million and creating 4,000 new childcare spaces for our youngest learners. It's a significant investment and one that I know will directly benefit Ontario families and families right here in Bradford. Our ability to deliver such an important commitment ahead of schedule is something I want you to know that I am personally proud of, because I know that families have challenges and they want those spaces and they need them. So it's our job to try to do the best we can to get those spaces out there. So I'm pleased that we're doing it ahead of time. I think this sends a clear message to families. It says that you can count on us and get results. We've been listening, and we're making sure that you're getting access to high-quality childcare. But we're not stopping there. As one commitment winds down, the $120 million and 4,000, we are now, of course, making another commitment, an even bolder one and a stronger one, which I know the sector and many of you have already heard about. Starting next year, in 2017, Ontario will help to create an additional 100,000 new licensed childcare spaces for infants, toddlers, and preschoolers across the province. This is fantastic news. It also doubles the capacity for 0 to 4-year-olds in our province. We're really doubling it in a very significant way. It will help people in their everyday lives by promoting early learning, helping parents find the right care they so urgently need. And it's all part of our promise to parents, to child caregivers, to students, to teachers, to staff, that Ontario will continue to develop a world-class child care and early years system. You know, as educators, I want you to know we've put a lot of focus over the years on schools, and then we moved our focus to kindergarten. And what we're trying to do right now is something really important. We're trying now to get that 0 to 4 gap. That's what the Premier wants to do, is now focus on those kids in those early years. And what we want to do is create that continuum of learning that starts from day one and gives parents and kids that support. So this will match our publicly funded and world-class education system. Not just an aspiration, not just an idea. It's an intention, and it's something that we're working on and we're going to get right. Today's announcement of more licensed childcare spaces in Simcoe shows that we're getting results, more results to come in the near future and in the long time. The next steps in our transformation, a transformation of Ontario's early years and childcare system, will benefit kids and families now and into the future. So we're working to transform the way we deliver childcare in our province to get the best results for children, for families, and our province. Very pleased to be here with you all today. Really thrilled about this announcement, and very happy. I'm able to take questions, so I don't know, Principal Albans, if you want to go ahead and say a few words to wrap up.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for that incredibly exciting news that you just shared with us that will benefit so many of our families and our children. It's excellent. I'd like to call on Director Kathy Wallace. If you could come and join us at the podium as well, share a few words.
Well, wow. What great news. I am so delighted to be here this morning to hear this news. And you spoke as a mom. I can speak as a mom and a grandmother about how very important this kind of facility is for our families, especially here at Chris Hadfield Public School and for this Bradford community. The board's very excited because a child care facility built here in Bradford means that this school and this community that has young growing families, and we've seen that over the last few years, it means that we know how beneficial it is for our families to be able to bring their children to facilities like this and then transition these children then into the school, and how comfortable that is for our families. So it is so very, very important. Chris Hadfield was designed, and you heard that we opened it just recently, but it was designed with the hope that we would eventually get a child care center. So thank you. Our dreams have come true. So to have this 3-room child care to serve our children from 12 months of age till they enter into the kindergarten program is truly amazing. I'd like you to know, Associate Minister, that we have 647 child care center spaces in our board currently, and this will now add another 49. So we truly believe in this. So you've picked a great board to become involved in. Also, throughout our board, we have 18 child care centers in our elementary schools, and 83 of our 86 elementary schools have before and after school centers. So that's approximately 240 students that are involved in our 4 Bradford schools here, but approximately 2,900 students board-wide are served in our before and after school programs. So you can see how very important this whole concept that you've talked about today is, and how our families are very much wanting to see this. So thank you again. I want to recognize today our county partners. We have Laura and we have Carol Ann here today, and without our county, what would we do? So the County of Simcoe has been a very strong partner with us, and partnerships are so very, very critical in developing these kinds of projects. So I want to compliment you today as well. We now know about this wonderful funding. I want, though, to let you know there will be a few more steps before we will be able to have this up and running, but I assure you we will get at it right away, right, Sandy? And the designs and the approvals and the hiring of contracts will be done immediately, and we will get working on this because we know how critical this is for our families. I also want to thank Paula Murphy, our superintendent of early years, and Daryl Halliday, who's our superintendent and so very proud of this school. Of course, our dear principal, Ev, who knows what it takes to have these important programs. And so with your support and your money, we can make it happen. So you're welcome anytime. Thank you. Come on back. So thank you today. Thank you for taking the opportunity, for driving through the rain and joining us today with this absolutely wonderful announcement. And as I said, please come back anytime. Okay? And you don't even have to bring money. Okay? Thank you very much.
Very well.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm wondering if Director Ross, would you mind remaining at the podium? And also, if the Associate Minister could join you to answer any questions from the media at this time.
Do you have any questions for us?
You answered my question about when we were hoping to see this completed, but I assume there's not really a timeline at this point, so as soon as possible, I'm guessing that's really what you're looking for.
Absolutely. The good news is we had our hopes and dreams for this, so the architecture of this school was such that we can start to move on it.
If I can give you a little more detail about the announcement, so I think it would be good if you had it. I'm not sure if it's in our news releases, but certainly I guess it is, but I'll make sure you have it anyway. So 7.2 million, 211 spaces. So Chris Hadfield here will be receiving the 3 rooms and the 49 spaces for infants, toddlers, and preschoolers. St. Bernard's Catholic School in Aurelia will receive 3 new rooms and 49 spaces, and an additional room for child and family programs. St. Mary's Catholic School in Huntsville will receive 2 new rooms and 30 spaces. Pope Francis Catholic School in Vaughan will receive 3 new rooms, 49 spaces. And I'm not wearing my glasses, but I think it's Saint Rene Goupil Saint Luc Catholic School in Markham will receive 2 new rooms and 25 spaces. So just to help you get a sense of where these are going and how big the announcement is, this is wrapping up a commitment we made for the 120 million and 4,000 spaces. And I'll tell you, we wanted to get this announced so that people would know that what's coming is new. The 100,000 spaces that we've announced is a new commitment. So, in the last year, clearly, certainly the government and certainly the Premier recognized that we needed to come up with more spaces. But during that time, we started really looking at what we were doing and what the needs were, and the Premier specifically felt that we needed to transform the way childcare is being delivered, and the need was great, and we needed to do what we could to support. And so some of this will be starting, of course, with consultations with the sector to find out what we need to do and what we have to do next year. But you'll be hearing more about that in the next little while. we're getting to work on that fairly quickly. Does that answer most of your questions? Okay, fantastic. Okay.
Okay, well, thank you so much. It's such great news, and especially being recipient of some of that grant. We really appreciate it very much. So this concludes our meeting this morning, and I thank everyone for joining us, and especially with the weather conditions as they were and the road conditions. But anyways, we really appreciate you being here, and it was absolute pleasure to meet you. Thank you again. Thank you.
All right, thank you.